Okay, how to install the Oracle VirtualBox software, and then what we can say, like how to create the VMs, how to create the VMs in the Oracle VirtualBox, and then how to install the Windows operating system. Okay, so we just discussed all these things in the last weekend classes, guys. Today we'll discuss the SQL Server installation. Why? Because once the environment is ready, we are good to install the SQL Server, right? So today we'll install the SQL Server, guys, as we have created the VM in the last weekend and we have installed the Windows operating system. Then we are good to install the SQL Server, guys. Okay. So now we'll install the SQL Server and then we'll proceed, guys. And one more thing, I see some people are pinging me if they are having any issues. No problem, you can ping me. But my sincere request is, I am not the first line of defense, guys. Okay, I am the last line of defense. This is very important. Why? Because generally these are weekend classes. Yes, okay, every weekend Saturdays and Sundays will connect, right? So those videos will be available by Monday. So what you people are doing is, like, what I feel is, you people are, some people directly jumping into the demos without watching the videos, I feel. Okay, so what you can do is, before asking me, okay, just watch the videos. Everything I have explained clearly. I can answer the questions in the chart, but the thing is, you will forget at that moment. If you watch it again, you will remember why we have selected those options. Okay, you will remember why we have selected. If you listen 2 3 times, nothing will happen, you will get extra knowledge. Okay, so instead of, in case if you are facing any issues while practicing, instead of directly hitting me, just watch the videos once. Okay, just watch the videos once. If you are having any issues, definitely you can come back to me, no doubt I'm going to help you out. But the thing is, you have to watch it first. The first source is your videos, guys. That's why I'm recording each and every session. I'm keeping it in YouTube for few sessions. Later I'm going to give you access, separate access. Okay, so your first source is your videos. Second source is Google, guys. You have to learn how to Google it. Why? Because you are going to act as a professional. Once this course is done, you will act as a professional. So what professional will do generally? He is going to depends on Google. Google means suddenly overnight you cannot Google it. You should know some terminologies. Google results, you will get better results based on your keywords that you are using. So you should be habituated to that kind of keywords and all. You should know what keywords I have to use to get the better results. So this, use this 1.5 months 2 months training to improve the Google skills and all. Okay, I told you, right? IT means, without Google, okay, 70% of IT employees, they can't work. So IT means, IT employee means, he's not so smart. He is smart in using Google, guys. That's it. Okay, he is smart in using Google. So you should be smart in using Google. So first source is your videos. Second source is your Google, guys. If you don't find anything, you can come back to me. Finally, you can come back to me. And if I feel that we have already discussed in the videos, straight away I'll tell that please watch the videos. Please watch the videos. Okay, in case if I feel these things are already discussed in the classes, I'll tell you, guys, please watch the video. You can find the better information, complete information. Okay, so don't think I am a kind of okay, rude, but it's very important. This is how generally we are going to learn the subject, guys. Okay, so that's how you have to practice. Before practicing, watch the videos once, check it where is the problem, and then try it, guys. Okay, right, fine. So let's jump into the session. This is our Oracle VirtualBox, right? In the last class we have installed the Windows machine. Let's start the VM, guys. So every day means, like, whenever you're practicing, what you have to do is open the Oracle VirtualBox first. Okay, you can see the machines that you have created. In case if you haven't created any machine, create the machines, guys. Okay, then you can see. After that, of course, you have to install the Windows operating system. Once this is done, you can enable the remote connections. Again, there are some limitations to the RDP, guys, remote connections. In the last class we discussed 3 or 4 points. Okay, so like you cannot do RDP in case if you don't have Windows 10 Pro version OS. In case if your laptop is not having Windows 10 Pro, generally you cannot do RDP. You cannot use RDP feature and all. Okay, sometimes Windows 10 Home will be there, Windows 11 Home will be there. So for these people, generally RDP feature won't work. Okay, and also you should have internet connection. Your local laptop and virtual machine both are going to connect with the help of internet. So you should have internet connection. Without internet connection also your RDP won't work. You have to enable extra settings, okay, to connect to the server remotely. Whenever you change the internet, your RDP connection will be closed. So make sure if you change the internet, for example, now this internet is not this internet is down. Okay, I just change it from this internet to this internet, immediately your RDP connection will be lost, guys. So what you have to do, restart the virtual machine, not your laptop, just restart the virtual machine and again log into the machine directly and check the new IP address. You have to always check the new IP address. Why? Because when you change the internet, automatically IP addresses will be changed. So once you change the internet, directly log into the machine, check the IP address, use that updated IP address to connect the servers remotely. So these are the main challenges in the RDP connection, guys. Okay, fine. Right. So let me start. This is our VM, right, that we have created in the last weekend. So let me start this VM. Double click on it. We can start the VM. So have you installed .NET Framework, guys? And one more question. So how many of you created the VM, guys? How many of you people created the VM? Installed the Windows operating system? I guess hardly one or two. I remember. How many of you people are created this VM, Windows Virtual Machine? Isha, very good. Next, you can raise your hand, or Naveen, very good. Or you can reply in the chat. Okay, Shahana, very good. Okay, so that means only 3 people or 4 people started practicing, guys. If you don't practice, it's very difficult. Okay, subject is very easy, you can easily understand the concepts and all, but if you are not practicing, no one can help you out, guys. Okay, you have to practice. You should practice. I told you, right, daily you have to spend at least 3 to 4 hours. Sir, what I have to spend for 3 to 4 hours? Okay, keep on doing the same things, guys. Every time you are doing, you will came to know the new things and all. Try to explain the same subject to your friends, you will get more knowledge. That's how I used to learn the course. Try to explain it to your friends, guys. It will help you. It will help you, guys. Try to prepare a complete notes, guys. If you are preparing a complete notes, the pin to pin, point to point, that what we have discussed in the classes, if you are preparing, okay, each point, if you are noting down each and every point, okay, after the class, by watching the videos, definitely, okay, you will get lot of subject. Believe me, this is a very good technique to learn any subject. Generally, if you are reading and all, you will get the sleep. Okay, so we can't concentrate more while reading, while watching the videos and all. Better open a notepad, watch the video, type the important points and all in the notepad, keep on practicing those things. Definitely it will take 3 to 4 hours for one class. You can practice for 3 to 4 hours, guys. One day you can easily spend for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, it's very important. So these are the techniques, guys. So what is, like, how we are going to log into the server directly? Permi name, type and port count, disable in settings. Kacha any? What happened? Name, type and port count disable in settings. See, some settings will be turned on when you, like, some settings will be enabled when you turned on the machine. Okay, if the machine is up and running, some settings will be enabled. Okay, please check it, Kachani, in case if you are having any issues. Okay, At the end of the class, I'll ask you to share the screen. You can share the screen and all. I'll check it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, fine. So you have to directly log into the machine, guys. How to directly log into this machine? How can we log into this machine directly? What is the process? I want to directly log in into this machine. I can connect to this machine. This is my Windows server. Okay, this is my Windows server. You can see this black screen, right? This is my Windows server. This is my laptop. From my laptop to this Windows server, I can connect in two ways. One is direct connection. Second one is remote connection. For some people, I said remote connections won't work in case if they are having any challenges, kind of thing, like operating system is not supporting and all. For them, it's not a roadblock. You can still connect to the server using direct connection. What is meant by direct connection means you can directly log into this machine. How to log into this machine, guys? How to log in into this machine? I said one shortcut, one keyboard shortcut is there.
Control delete.
Which control? Which control?
Right control.
Right
Control alt.
No alt. Again, no alt. Only right control plus
Right
delete.
control.
Only two keys. Right control plus delete. Okay. Right control plus delete. Or I can't remember these shortcuts, sir. Go to input. Click on this keyboard. Use insert control alt delete. In this way also you will get the authentication screen. Give the password. Okay. 1 2 3. Right. So this is how we are going to log into the machine directly. This is called direct connection. Other than this, we can connect remotely also. As I said in the last class, at a time you can connect either direct or remote. You cannot connect both at a time. If you are connected through remote RDP, your direct connection will be locked. If you connected through direct connection, your RDP will be closed. Okay. So don't wonder, guys, while practicing why this is happening and all. Okay, this is common, guys. Right. So what I have to do now? Then I have to check the IP address first. I want to connect to the server remotely, right? So let's check the IP address in the server. CMD IP config. I hope you know how to check the IP address. IP config you have to give, guys. So the IP address is 192.168. Let's go to this. What I did is like I just opened this RDP remote desktop connection. Right click, pin to taskbar. Okay, what I did is, okay, right click, pin to taskbar. One option will be there, pin to start or pin to taskbar. You can see, right, unpin. Actually I just pinned it to taskbar, right? So you can see unpin. So when you click on the pin to taskbar, I can see it will be locked here, okay, on the taskbar. So that's why I'm using this. If you are still having confusion, just click on this remote desktop connection, or we can use a shortcut. What is the shortcut for RDP, guys?
MSTSC.
MSTSC, very good. Okay, you have to open run in your laptop. You have to type MSTSC so that it will open, guys. Okay, MSTSC is the shortcut. Or simply click on Windows button, type remote, guys. Still you can see the remote desktop connection application. Okay, right. What is the IP address? The same, mostly same IP address will be there, guys. 192.168.137.199. Okay, done. So let me connect to this machine. Okay, so I have to give the password while connecting. 1 2 3. Yes, guys, in the organization will connect like this only, but don't think we have to check the IP address again. Why? Because direct connection won't be available for us. Only Windows team can do the direct login. So why we are checking IP address every time? Why? Because we are connected to the home internet. So there might be a chance your IP addresses will be changed every time. There might be a chance. But in the organization, fixed IP addresses will be there, guys. You will have an inventory. You will have an Excel sheet or Confluence pages. In that Confluence pages, the server name and IP addresses will be already there. So you can use that existing IP addresses. Or if someone having any issues with any server, they will raise a ticket. In that ticket, they will mention the server name. So you can connect to the server remotely using server name, or you can connect to the server remotely using IP addresses. If you know the IP addresses, no need to log into the server directly and no need to check the IP addresses. If you don't know it, then generally we are going to do that. That is in our practice. But in the organization, You will have an inventory, guys. In that inventory, server name and IP addresses will be there, or people will include the server name or IP addresses in the tickets. Use that existing IP addresses, guys, to connect to the server remotely. Chalo. So have we installed .NET Framework in the last class, guys? I guess we have installed, right, .NET Framework?
Yes.
Okay, done. So I hope you know how to install .NET Framework and all. .NET Framework is mandatory for the SQL Server installation. So you have to install the .NET Framework. Whatever things we discussed till last Sunday, okay, those are all related to the Windows team, guys. Windows team. We don't involve anything at any point till last Sunday. From this point onwards, as a SQL DBA, our job will start from this point. Why? Because last week we are concentrated on creating the machines, building the machines, installing the operating systems, installing the prerequisites like .NET Framework and all. .NET Framework is very important for the SQL Server installation. It's a mandatory prerequisite, guys. Without .NET Framework, we cannot install the SQL Server. So in the last class, we discussed how to install .NET Framework and all. So now we can straight away install the SQL Server, guys. Right. So if I want to install any software, what I should have, guys, generally, I want to install any software, what I should have. Generally, the very basic thing, machine is ready. With everything, the machine is ready. Other than this, what component I should have to install that software? Internet, no. Okay, in the organization, servers doesn't have any internet generally. Okay, why? Because due to security vulnerabilities, your servers won't be exposed to the internet, guys. They will be there in the intranet, means servers will connect mutually, but they don't connect to the public network. Okay, so no. Next, just try it, no problem. Good try, just try it. What I should have? What is the very important component to install any software?
Software which we need to install.
Very good, super. I should have that software file, right? I should have that software file. So if I have that software file, then I can start installing the particular software product and all, right? So now I have to get the SQL software. How can I get the SQL software to this machine? You can either copy paste if you connected remotely, copy paste will work. You can directly copy any folder or any file, okay, from the desktop or from any location, and you can paste it in the server. Right click copy, right click paste, guys. That's it. Okay, this is how one way, like this is how we are going to do. Okay, you can do either copy paste from the local laptop to the server. If you connected remotely, then copy paste will work. Next thing is you have to attach the software. Okay, generally in the organization, all the softwares will be there in one shared location in the organization. How it will be, guys? Will keep the softwares. Will keep the softwares. All the required softwares will be there in shared location. DBA will have one shared folder, guys. One shared location will be there. So this shared location will have a shared path. Okay, say for example, the shared location will be like this. Okay, something like 10.23.45.244, like this, just for the example I'm giving. Okay, right, backslash softwares backslash SQL Server softwares. Okay, backslash like SQL Server 2017, like this kind of path. I'm just saying, like this kind of path will be there. Okay, this is a common path, this is a shared path for the DBA team. All the default scripts, softwares, tools, whatever DBAs are using, everything will be there in the common shared location. So you have to get this information from your colleagues. You have to ask, which path we are going to use to copy the softwares and all. What are the shared paths we have to copy the softwares? Okay, so you have to ask this question to your colleagues, guys. They will let you know. They will give you one path. You have to take that path and you have to connect to the server. You have to open the run. You have to paste it here. You have to hit enter. If the path is existed, that folder will open. If the path is not existed, you will get an error like this. Okay, now you will get one error like that path is not a valid path, right? I just gave it for an example. So generally in the organization, we'll copy the softwares like this, means we'll use one shared location. From that shared location, we'll copy to some other drives. Okay. Now what I am going to do is, see, like this, we'll get this kind of error, guys. Windows can't access this path. Okay. So you can cancel it. Just for the example, how to access the shared path, to show that I gave you this example, guys. Okay, cancel it. What I am going to do, how we install the Windows operating system, guys? Anyone remembered after creating the virtual machine, we did one setting, okay, for the Windows Server software. How I attached that software? Anyone remembered that step?
Yes, yes.
Okay, how to do that? How to attach the software for any virtual machine?
Go to set.
Go to settings. Okay, settings. Next.
Storage.
Storage.
Very good. Right, here you can see Windows 2012 R2 software is there, ISO file. Okay, so that's why you can see this is the D drive, this is the Windows Server software, guys. So as of now, as here Windows software is attached, you can see Windows Server here in the D drive. Now I'll change this Windows. Why? Because Windows Server installation is done, right? We don't want that software now. I'll replace this Windows Server software with SQL Server software, guys. How to do that? Click on the software. Still people are getting confused here, guys. Okay, someone pinged me, sir, yesterday I cannot see these options. Why you can see these options? As I am using regularly, I can see these options. You cannot see these options. You can click on choose virtual disk optical file. Go to the softwares, in which location you have downloaded the softwares. I said you have to download all the softwares. You have to keep it in one shared location, one location, guys. No need to keep it in shared location. You have to keep it in one drive. Go to that drive, go to that folder, in which folder you just downloaded the softwares. If your softwares are there in the downloads, click on the downloads. You can see the softwares, guys. You can see means when you can see. If you download the softwares, you can see. Without download, sir, I cannot see Windows Server 2012. I cannot see SQL Server software. You cannot see. If you download it, you can see. So before practicing, what you have to do? Use the links that I have shared. Download the softwares. Keep it in a separate folder. Then you can go to that particular folder to select the software. In this case, I'll use SQL Server 2017 installation, guys. Okay. I'll select this SQL Server 2017. Double click on it. Done. It was changed from Windows to SQL Server. It was changed, and click OK. Now earlier you can see Windows software, right? You can still see Windows Server software only. This is just refresh it. You can see SQL Server software. See here, SQL setup. It was changed to SQL setup. This is how generally we'll attach the 1 minute, please. This is how generally we'll attach the software, guys. Okay, SQL software. I just replaced Windows Server to SQL. Why? Because Windows Server installation is done. Now this is our software. Right click on it, open it. I am going to install Developer Edition, guys. Developer Edition is having all the features. Okay, so we'll continue with the Developer Edition. And again, there is no difference, guys. This is very important. There is no difference in installing Developer Edition, Standard Edition, Enterprise Edition. All editions, the installation process is same. All the versions. Again, sir, how to install SQL Server 2012? Like the same way we'll install, guys. So installation is one thing that you have to concentrate on the terminologies. Interface might be changed compared to version. In 2012, some kind of interface will be there. In 2014, might be slight difference will be there in the interface, but the terminologies are same. The concept is same. The process is same. So I know only how to install 2017. I don't know how to install 2012. I don't know how to install 2008. No, you know everything. Once you are good in one version installation, you will be good in all the versions installation, guys. Why? Because same kind of process will be there. Same kind of terminologies will be there, guys. Okay. So this is our setup file. Always will use setup file to install any software, not only SQL Server. Setup file is one application which will invoke the installation, guys. Okay, right. So you can see here. Now as I said, in case if any exe file, .exe file is there, you have to open that application with run as admin mode. Habituate this activity in the organization. It is very important. If you can double click on the setup file, no issues, but you might face some issues, guys, during installation and all. Always better open the setup file with run as administrator mode. First thing. Second thing is, before installation, just restart the Windows server once. Before installation, just restart the Windows server once. In case, why? Because Windows team will install lot of softwares, guys. So sometimes they might restart, sometimes they will skip that restart and all. So better, if you don't want to face any issues during the installation, better it's always good to restart the server once. Why? Because this is not a live server, guys. Currently you are installing this server, you are preparing this server, so this was not yet associated with any application. So if it is associated with any application, then okay, can we restart the server or not, then you will get a question. Why? Because that is a live server generally you cannot restart without approvals. So as this is not yet live, it is still in preparing phase, okay, you can restart the server how many times you want. You can restart it without any approvals, guys. Okay, now before installation you can restart it. Anyhow, I just started the Windows machine, right? So no need to restart in this case, but in the organization you can restart the Windows server before installing the SQL server. Right click, run as administrator. Now you will get one window, guys, that is called installation center. Okay, so using that installation center only generally will install the SQL server. Okay, so one application will open, so that is called installation center. Using this installation center, we can install the instances and we can do lot of things, guys. Okay, so I'll show you what and all options, when we are going to use, what kind of options we are going to use during the whole course. Okay, you can see those options, guys. I'll show you. Okay, nothing to worry. So let it open. Once it was opened, then I'll show you how to install the SQL server. Right, so we have two types of SQL servers, guys. SQL server installations. One is standalone installation. Second one is cluster installation. Standalone means if you are installing SQL server on a single Windows machine, a standalone machine. Standalone means what? A single machine, right? If you are installing SQL server on a single Windows machine, that is called standalone installation. We have one more installation called cluster installation. Cluster installation means if you are installing SQL server on multiple servers, okay, that is called cluster installation. So clustering is a separate feature, guys. Okay, so that is a separate feature. We'll discuss what is clustering and all. So generally we'll select standalone installation as of now. Okay, later once we started this HADR classes, then I'll show you how to install cluster installation and all. That is also very important. Okay, so it's opening, guys. It's opening. Why it is taking this much time to open? CPU and memory usage is normal only. Okay, fine, just opened. You can see here, this is the installation center. You can see SQL server installation center. There are different pages, guys. Planning page, installation page, maintenance, tools, resources, advanced options. So slowly you will came to know all the options, guys. Slowly you will came to know. We'll discuss during the whole course. Okay, so in case you want to see what and all hardware and software components are there, if you want to install SQL Server 2017, what are the hardware components are there, what are the hardware requirements, what are the software requirements. Okay, so this is the documentation. When you click on this, automatically Internet Explorer will open and you can see the text like the hardware and software requirements. You can see security documentation, online releases. Okay, download database migration assistant and all. We don't use it at this moment. Later we'll see, guys. So I want to install the SQL server, right? Click on the installation. So now you can see new SQL server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. So this feature I have to choose, guys. In case if I want cluster installation, I have to choose this feature, but forget about this feature as of now. We'll discuss. There is a separate class, guys, on this. So click on this standalone installation. right? Okay, specify a free edition, developer edition, guys. I'm going to install developer edition. So you can see different editions here: express edition, evaluation edition, that we have already discussed. For standard edition, enterprise edition, you have to select this key. Okay, click on this option. If you have standard or enterprise edition, you have to give license, right? So license key and all you have to give here. In the organization, you will have keys. You have to take that information from your colleagues, and then you have to enter that keys. So based on the key and all, generally either standard or enterprise edition will be installed. So I'm going to install a free edition, which is developer edition. So next, I accept. Any software will have this option, guys. You have to accept the license terms. Okay, next, show details, you can see here. So let me go back, guys. These are the pre-checks. These are the pre-checks. Before installation, this setup will check whether this machine is set up properly or not with the prerequisites. You can see, right, .NET Framework 2.0, 3.5. Okay, you can see here. If you don't install .NET Framework, this this step will be failed, guys. This check will be failed. Listen carefully. Here you can see 9 checks, right? Out of these 9 checks, all checks should be succeeded, passed, like this. If it is passed, you can see green check symbol. Or warning is fine. Warning, either all the checks are passed, or warning is also fine, or skipped is also fine. You can see here, in case if one check is failed, even though out of 9 checks, if one check is failed, you cannot proceed next. This next button will be grayed out. Okay, this next button will be grayed out. Sometimes this restart computer will be failed, guys. So what is the solution? If you see restart computer check is failed, what is the solution?
Restart the Windows server.
That's it. We have to restart the Windows server. Okay, we have to cancel all those things and we have to restart the Windows server. Then again you have to open the setup file. Again you can go to next. It will be succeed. If this is failed, you have to install the .NET framework and all. Okay, so listen carefully. Out of this 9, even though if one check is failed, you cannot proceed. Okay, so you have to fix that issue first. Failed. If it is warning, skipped and all, no issues. If it is failed, then only, okay, you can't go further, guys. Okay, next. Right, we don't want
But
any.
what is the remaining options?
What are the remaining options? These are the pre-checks. Setup administrator permissions are there, setup account privilege. It will check all these things. Okay, so it will check the compatibility, whether it is compatible or not. So long path names of files, SQL or installation media, the software and all. WMS services for some softwares, generally not some softwares, generally Windows architecture. As per the Windows architecture, so it will use this Windows management instrumentation, WMS service, during the installation. Wow platform, wow 64. If you want to know all these things, means you have to Google it. Okay, what this check will do, what other checks will do, just Google it, you will came to know. Generally, no need to concentrate on these things. You have to like make sure these checks are passed. Next, right here, Microsoft update. So Microsoft update, generally, in case if you want to enable the automatic updates, then you can use this Microsoft update option. But as I said, your servers won't be exposed to the internet, so no need to select this update, automatic updates and all. Okay, generally we'll skip it. You can keep it as it is, no issues. We don't select these options, guys. Okay, of course, Sri Lakshmi, we have to install .NET framework for all the SQL Server versions. Yeah, okay, so next. All right, this is called product updates. You can see, right, product update. Generally it will be like, you can see the error only. Why? Because I told you, right, I don't want any product updates. Why? Because automatic updates should be turned off. While installing the automatic updates, your SQL server will be restarted automatically, guys. So it cannot be like that. In the organization, if the SQL server is restarting automatically, means your application will be down. So that's why automatic updates generally will be turned off. So product updates will be turned off. You can see like this. Next, this is not an error. It is saying like your automatic and product updates are turned off. That's it. So now it is installing some setup files. So in case if it is already there, it will skip it, or if there are no setup files and all, it is going to install. Again, some more checks will run here. You can see here, some more checks are there, 4 checks are there. See here, If it is a warning symbol, you can see this kind of warning symbol. Even though it is a warning, no problem, you can proceed. But if this is failed, it will be grayed out. Next button will be grayed out like this. See, I cannot click back. Okay. So now yes, all these checks are passed, and that's okay with one warning. Next, here I told you during the classes what are the components of the SQL server we have discussed, guys. Components of the SQL server. Anyone remembered what are the components of the SQL server? Components of SQL server, guys.
Database engine,
Next, you can see on the screen.
integration services,
Very
reporting
good.
services.
Very good. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, so components of SQL Server database engine, bits components like SSIS integration services, SSAS analysis services, SSRS reporting services. Other than that, we have these many components, guys, like polybase feature. Okay, full text, and all, of course, regular features, R, Python. These features are introduced from 2017. This R, Python, okay, machine learning services are introduced. So based on the version to version, they are going to update, they are going to add some extra features, guys. So we don't need all these things. You might get some questions, sir, what components I have to choose here? This is very important question. Lot of components are there, right? What components, out of these components, what components I have to choose here? Don't select all. If you choose select all, means all features will be installed. By default, features will be installed, which is not good. The licensing will be more, guys. These are all like, if you use extra features, means you have to pay extra to the Microsoft. Okay, so let me unselect all. We'll select only specific features, right? So here, while doing the installation in your organization, generally we will have one procedure. Okay, we'll follow the build sheet. So if anyone comes to us, comes to the DBA team, hey, can you please install SQL Server 2017 on so and so machine, means that person who is having the requirement, he has to fill this build sheet. What this sheet contains? It contains the names, what names, naming conventions and all. You have what names and all you have to give, it will be there in the build sheet. What features you have to select, naming conventions, features to install, what and all features. Customers might need installation services, customers might need reporting services, customers might need analysis services, some customers might need all the services, some customers don't need this bits components like SSIS, RSAS and all, they don't need it, they need only database engine. So they have to choose, they have to mention in this build sheet what components they want. So based on the build sheet only, we will proceed to install. If they don't have build sheet, you have to ask what components you want. Of course, database engine is very common. Without database engine, there is no SQL server. Other than this, do you want any extra features like IS, RSR, Python? Okay, you have to ask the customer. When, if you don't have this build sheet concept, you have to ask the customer, please let me know what and all components you need to install. So during installation, you can choose those components, and generally those components will be included in the build sheet. So based on the build sheet only, we'll install the SQL server. 95% this is the process in the organization. If it is a startup companies and all, if they don't have any documentation, you have to do the documentation, guys. By mistake I missed one feature. Can I install later? Or today customer said I don't want reporting services or integration services. After 1 month, hey, please install reporting services for the same instance. Means, is it possible to install the features in the next iteration, next time,
I think yes.
for the same server, for the same SQL server? Is it possible to add features next time, guys? Whenever we want, is it possible to add features?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, if you remember, during the installation, I selected one option, install standalone. Click here to install standalone instance or add features to the existing instance. So yes, in case if you miss any components, or at this moment customer don't want those components, later after 1 month, 1 year, customer come back to us, please install SSIS RS also. You can still install later also. If you miss one component also, later you can install that component, nothing to worry. Okay, so generally SQL Server means database engine, like a car engine. Car won't run without engine, right? Data SQL Service won't run without this database engine. Database engine is very important. Without database engine, there is no SQL Server. Other than this, SQL Server is one replication. SQL Server is having one feature called replication. Okay, so generally most people will use this replication feature, guys. So we'll choose this. What is this replication? Everything, there is a separate class. I'll take two classes, okay, on this replication and all. That is a HADR, high availability feature. Definitely there is a like lengthy classes on this feature, replication. Machine learning, generally we don't use machine learning or Python. We don't. In case customer need this one, you can select this feature. Full text is one kind of a feature which will help you to search the data. So this is very important. You have to choose full text semantic extraction for search. So to search the data, generally we'll use full text. So better we have to include this full text also. These are default features, guys. Now I am installing SQL Server with the default features. Okay, full text is one feature, replication is one feature. Of course, database engine is very important, guys. If you see actually in this screen, there are two sections. One is instance feature, this one, okay, instance features. This is one section if you see, and this is the second section, shared features, guys. And if you go down, you can see some other shared features. Two portions you can see. One is instance features, which is a specific features, okay, which is a specific features. Specific features. In the instance features, you can see specific features, and you can see shared features. Shared features, guys. So what is the difference between specific features and shared features, guys? Listen carefully. Let me give you this example. Every time I'll give this example only. So imagine you are in a PG or hostel. Okay, PG or hostel. When you are in a PG, generally there are some specific things that you will carry. There are some shared things that PG people will provide. Agree, guys? Agree? Right? You will have your own specific things, like your mobile phone is your specific thing. Your laptop is your specific things. Your clothes, your dresses are your specific things. Those are belongs to you specifically, right? These are specific features. And what and all shared features will be available in the PG, guys? What shared features will be?
Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi, very
Wi-Fi,
good.
washing machine.
Washing machine, TV, you have to share with others. Shared features means you have to share with others, right? So if any new person is coming, are they going to provide extra Wi-Fi, extra TV, extra washing machine? No, right? Even though if any person comes, they have to use the existing features only, right? So specific features belongs to you, shared features belongs to the particular whole server. You means specific features belongs to the specific customer, shared features belongs to the whole Windows server. Only one time you will install shared features, like in the PG only one time he will buy that fridge, washing machine, AC, TV, Wi-Fi. Only one time he will set up. Next time if any new person comes, they have to use the existing features. In the same way, only for the first time you will install shared features. Next time if you are installing SQL Server, guys, I am installing one instance now. Let me tell you, I am installing only one instance now. Okay, instance means what? Instance means one SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Instance means one SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Means instance, as a professional will call it as a instance. You can call it as a SQL Server also, okay, but as a professional will call it as a SQL instance. So one copy of SQL Server is called one instance. Like that, how many copies I can install in one Windows machine? Can anyone tell me? Anyone having any idea? I guess you people watched my old videos, right? So how many SQL
50.
Server copies I can install in one Windows machine? Yes, 50 instances, guys. Okay, 49 plus 1. What is this 49 plus 1? I'll tell you. Why not 48 plus 2? You can ask like this, but 49 plus 1 I'll tell you. 50 SQL Server copies I can install. Means imagine this Windows Server is a PC. In this PC, up to 50 people I can set up, guys. Is it clear? So for 50 people, again I don't want to use extra Wi-Fi, extra, of course based on the requirement only I'll take this extra Wi-Fi, fridge, washing machine, everything will be there. Okay, again if any new person comes, there is one person in the, see, you just started the PG, new PG you just started, initially only one person is there. Of course your plans are like, okay, I'm going to uh, run this PG, so that's why you have a building, you have a extra settings like extra setup like your washing machine, fridge, TV for every room, okay, and AC and like Wi-Fi, everything is set up properly. If any second person comes, again you don't install all these things, right? The second person has to use the existing features. In the same way, only for the first time you will install shared features. Next time and all, no need to install these shared features. What general shared features we are going to install? The default shared features are client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. You have to remember these four features. Sir, I don't remember these four features. Chalo, no problem. In the installation document or build sheet, it will tell you what and all features, shared features you have to install. But generally, people don't maintain 90 percentage. You have to remember it. But still, in some organization, they will document each and everything properly. Don't generally depends on the documentation, guys. It will use that as a reference. Okay, that's a just reference guide, guys. You cannot blindly follow the documents like Google Maps and all. You know, right? What are the challenges with Google Maps? Okay, so a lot of challenges are there. In the same way, use that document, that build sheet or installation document as a reference, guys. Okay, these are the basic and the default shared features we'll select. In case if customer wants, hey, I need SSIS, then you have to select this integration services. If the customer is asking, hey, I need RS, reporting analysis services, you can select this analysis services feature. If the customer wants reporting services, generally up to SQL Server 2016, like how you can see analysis services here, you can see reporting services, one more feature, you can simply select that reporting services. From 2017 onwards, the reporting services are separated. You can see here, looking for reporting services, download it from the web. Again, you have to separately download from the web. You have to you have to install it separately. Okay, if you want reporting services, if you want an integration services, if you want analysis services, you can choose these options. This is how generally we'll install those components, guys. Okay, so these are the specific default features. These are the shared default features, guys. So make sure you just select all these features like as discussed. Where you are going to install these components? Generally I have only one drive, so I'll use the same drive, guys. C drive only I have in my machine. I don't have extra drives, so I'm going to use the same C drive to install. In the organization, again in the build sheet they will mention where you have to install this root directory, where you have to, means which drive, whether D drive, E drive, X drive, okay, F drive, L drive, which drive they are going to mention. They will follow some standards, guys. Throughout the organization, all the data files, I'll explain, guys, nothing to worry. So depends upon the organization, we have to change this path. Simply if they want to change this to D drive, you will simply change this C to D drive, or E drive C to E drive. That's it. You will change the drive letter, not everything. Okay, keep it as it is, as I have only one drive, which is C drive. Go to next, guys. Each directory means folders. Okay, supporting folders, Srini. Every directory, I'll explain once the installation is done. Some folders will be created, right? I'll show you what folders and all will be created, what is instance root directory, what is instance base directory, what are binaries. I'll show you, guys, once the installation is done. Okay, nothing to worry. Right, now you can see instance configuration. Just now we discussed, right? Instance means one SQL Server software. So instance configuration, how many types of instances are there, guys? Two types of instances are there. Okay, one is default instance, second one is named instance. Guys, generally installation is somewhat lengthy. Okay, so people will complete this installation in 5 minutes, people will take it for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, like our session. Okay, so why I am explaining each and every component means it's a very good concept that you can touch base most of the points, guys. That's why I'm explaining each and every concept. So that's why it's a kind of lengthy process installation, but you can come once you are comfortable, we can install the instance in 5 minutes. Next install only. Okay, but you should know all the components, right? That's why I'm explaining. So two types of instances, one is default instance, one is named instance. What is the difference between these two? Default instance means generally when you install any SQL server, you have to give the name. Okay, you have to give name to, why? Because imagine 50 people are there in the PG, so you have to write down their names, right? Their name, when they gave the advance, how much fee they gave, everything you have to maintain, right? That balance sheet and all. So it's very important. Multiple instances are there. To which instance you want to connect, you have to give the name. So if it is a default instance, generally it will take the computer name, computer or server, both are same only, computer name as an instance name. If it is a default instance, no need to give the instance name separately. Guys, there is no much differences between default and named instance. Only naming convention is different. Default instance will take the computer name. Named instance, you have to provide a separate name. That's it. Okay, functionality wise both are same. It's not mandatory that you have to install default instance for the first time, or you have to install named instance for the first time. Nothing like that. For the first time, either you can install default instance, or for the first time you can install named instance. Next time you can install other instance. Generally will follow in the organization, hardly for one machine, for one Windows machine, hardly 2 or 3 instances will be there. Most of the cases, one Windows server, only one SQL server will be installed. On one Windows server, one SQL server will be installed. Most of the servers, 60% to 70% on a single Windows machine, one SQL instance is going to be installed. But you can install 50, but they don't install multiple instances. If it is a not so critical applications, if it is critical applications, they will install only one SQL server. If it's not so critical application, then they will install multiple instances. So while installing, either you can choose default or named instance. Customer will tell you whether they need a default instance or named instance. Based on that, we have to choose. But functionality wise, both are same. Okay, default instance, named instance, there is no big differences. Functionality wise, how default is there, how default instance is there, same named instance also. Only difference is the name will be changed. Default instance will take the computer name, named instance you have to give the separate name. I can install only one default instance per machine. Per Windows machine, I can install only one default instance. Named instance, I can install 49. I told you, right? Total 50 instances. One is default, means remaining other 49 are named instance. That's why 49 plus 1. One default instance, 49 named instances. Okay, right? Fine. One default instance I can install per machine, and 49 named instances I can install. That doesn't mean I have to install. I can install. The maximum number is 49. Mostly I told you, right? Only one instance will be there on one Windows machine. Sometimes 2-3 instances also will be there. Fine. So these are the major differences. And why I can install only one default instance? Can anyone tell me the reason? Why only one?
That will take Windows name,
Windows name.
machine name,
Okay. So if you take Windows name, what happened?
machine name.
Okay. So can I install 2017 default instance and one 2019 default instance on the same Windows machine? Is it possible like that?
No.
Why?
For each instance server machine name same. That's why.
Very good. Okay. Why I can install only one default instance in the machine means, as I said, default instance, it will take the computer name as an instance name. So imagine, who is that who answered this question?
Me. Naveen.
Naveen. Okay, very good. So imagine I have two Naveens in this class. If I call Naveen, sometimes both Naveens will respond. Sometimes this Naveen will think that okay, that maybe I am calling that Naveen, or that Naveen will think that maybe I am calling this Naveen. So worst case is both won't respond. Best case is both will respond. Okay, so that is the problem if you have a two names. So that's why default instance name I cannot change, guys. This is very important. Instance name I cannot change. If you want, you have to give during installation only. After installation, sir, can I change my name? Not possible. You have to reinstall, and again you have to take the data from old server to new server. Okay, so which is a good practice. Generally we cannot change the instance name after installation. First point. Okay, second point is default instance will take the computer name, right? So imagine my computer name is, okay, what is the computer name? Server name batch 46. Imagine my server name is batch 46. If you install default instance once, the first instance will take the batch 46 name. Second time, if you are trying to install any version, guys, any version default instance, it won't allow. Why? Because default instance will always look for computer name, but this computer name is already allocated to one instance, so that's why your default instance will be failed. Okay, so default instance will take the computer name as it is, as the computer name is not shareable between the resources, so only one default instance I can install. Guys, can I change? I just installed the default instance. Later, can I change default instance to named instance? Is it possible? Or name it to default? Is it possible to change after installation? Is it possible, guys? Try yes or no. Not an issue, guys. Just try it.
I think no.
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 No, sir.
No.
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 No. No. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All are no only.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. No. Yes. Okay, fine. The answer is no. Okay, we cannot change the instance from default to name it to default, guys. Okay, it's not possible, right? So, any questions in this space? Any questions, guys? Anyone having any questions here?
Sir,
Yes, please.
we will have named and default instance in the same server, right?
Correct. In the same server only.
Yeah, how will we install the we will do separately or at the same time?
No, at a time we can install only one. Either see here, these are option buttons. Either if you choose named, it will be okay skipped. If you choose default, this will be skipped. At a time you can install only one. Later again you can attach the same software. Next time if you want to install second instance, I told you, right, you can install 50 instances. Next time if you already installed default instance, you cannot choose default instance next time. You have to choose named only.
It will have both the instances. It is I mean, we want to install both.
Both
It's
means
compulsory.
no. I said like depends upon the requirement. Okay.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll install default first copy.
Oh,
Second
okay.
copy onwards you have to install named only. There is no way. So it depends
Okay.
on the requirement. If you are having multiple instances, one default will be there, 2-3 named instances will be there in the same machine.
Okay. That this instance is used to what is the purpose?
What is the purpose, you will came to know. What is the
Okay.
purpose? In the first class we discussed, right? What is the use of the SQL server?
That's the same. Is the
To
as
store the
instance.
data, to
Okay.
process the data, to retrieve
That
the
is
data.
instance. Okay. Okay.
This database will be mapped to one application. Once this is ready, that
Okay.
application will keep pumping the data to the server.
Okay.
If this server is available, that application will be available. If this server is down, that application will be down. Like Amazon,
Oh.
Flipkart, Azio, GPay, PhonePe, okay, like this kind of applications.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Suppose we have already default instances.
Okay.
I want to install second time.
Hmm.
I am giving also same name.
You will
Suppose
get error.
and
Definitely.
same server name, same machine name. What will happen?
Where you are giving same name.
Named instances also.
In the
I am
named
giving same
instance,
name
you are giving same
while
computer
installing.
name. Ah,
Yes, yes.
very good question. I'll tell you about the named instance. Till now we discussed about the default instance, right? So whether it will allow or not. Can anyone tell me the answer for this question? Default instance is selected for the first time. Second time he is doing installation. Computer name is batch 46. Named instance he gave batch 46. Will it allow or it won't allow?
I think no.
No, na?
Won't allow.
No?
Yeah, won't allow.
No?
No.
No. Okay, done. So let's discuss about the named instance. Okay, we just discussed default, right? So named instance, named instance means you have to give name separately. Okay, default means it will take the computer name by default. Named instance means you have to give explicitly, you have to give the instance name. So there are some precautions while giving the instance name. There are some prerequisites while giving the instance name. You cannot give the instance name more than 15 characters, 15 or 16 characters. Okay, let me tell you now itself. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. Yes, 16. I guess cluster is 15. Okay, so the instance name is not more than 16 characters. Okay, instance name cannot be more than 16 characters. First condition. Second condition is instance name cannot start with numbers. It won't allow you 46 batch SQL server. It's invalid instance name. Why? Because it just started with numbers. Okay, you can give batch 46 means the instance name should starts with alphabets only. Instance name should starts with alphabets only. Batch 46 is a valid instance name. 46 batch is not a valid. Why? Because it just started with numbers, which is not valid. This is one more condition. Third condition is you cannot include special characters in the instance name. Okay, special characters means what? At the rate symbol, hash. We have this special characters like star and symbol, cap symbol. So you cannot include special characters in the instance name except dollar and underscore. Except these two special characters, you cannot give any other special characters in the instance name. Now tell me guys, is this a valid instance name? Batch 46. Can I give name like this?
Yes, sir.
Is it a valid instance name?
No,
I think
No.
space is there.
No
space is there.
Space is a special character? Do you think space is a special character? Yes, space is a special character. Okay, so this is not valid. You cannot give space. Okay, if you want to give, you can give batch underscore 46 or batch $46. Only these two characters it will allow. Comma is also a special character. Let me delete. Okay, so now tell me dollar batch 46. Is it a valid name?
No.
No.
No, no.
Why? Why? It will accept dollar, right? Why it's not a valid?
Starting with
Start with alphabets.
Correct. Okay, it should start with alphabet, so it's not valid. If you want, you can keep it anywhere. Okay, you can keep it after B or anywhere you can keep it, but it should start with the alphabets only, guys. Okay, so this is how generally you can give the name. So now named instance name will be how the name will be. Now one student asked, sir, can I give same computer name for the named instance? Yes, you can give. The answer is yes. Then how it will be? Default instance generally the server name is batch 46. Named instance the server name is generally server name backslash instance name. Okay, that means batch 46 backslash batch 46. Got the point, guys? Is it clear? So default instance while connecting generally will give, let me show you that as well, guys, where will give the name while connecting. Okay, I am opening SSMS in my local laptop, already SQL Server is installed. So just want to show you. Okay, just want to show you while connecting we have to give the instance name. If it is a default instance, we'll give just batch 46. If it is a named instance, we'll give server name. Always will connect to the named instances like this only. First you have to give server name, then backslash you have to give instance name. In this case you can give like this. If the machine name and instance name both are same, you can give batch 46 backslash batch 46. Is it clear, guys? Any questions here, please? Named instance you have to give server name backslash instance name. Just a minute, it is loading. SSMS is loading. Let me check whether my SQL server is up and running or not. Right. This is services screen. Let me check SQL server is running or not. SQL. Yes, SQL server is running, guys. See here. Let me connect to this SQL server. Okay. So this is the connect button, right? Here server type database engine, right? We have installed database engine, right? Server name, here you have to give, in case if it is a default instance, you have to give batch 46. If it is a named instance with the same name, again you have to give batch 46 and you can click connect. Can I connect now? Can I connect now? What in case if I click on
No.
connect button?
No.
Is it successful or I'll get an error message?
It will throw an error.
We cannot.
Why?
Because we didn't install.
Yes,
set
correct.
up that.
Okay. Yes, we don't have that setup. We don't have that instance with the name. Okay, you will get the error like this. So now you got the point, right? So if it is a default instance, you have to give only computer name. If it is a named instance, you have to give computer name means server name backslash instance name. If the instance name is also same as computer name, you can give like this. If instance name is SQL 2017, then you can give SQL 2017 like this. Okay, this is server name first part, second part is instance name. That's it, guys. Okay, is it clear, everyone? Any issues, any doubts? Okay, let me go to the server. Now I am going to choose default instance. Okay, let's choose default instance. Once you choose default instance, instance ID will be created with a MS SQL server, guys. I'll tell you, when you install default instance, only the name while connecting to the server is computer name. In all other scenarios like folders and services will be created with MS SQL server. If you see MS SQL server in the folders or in the services like this, in my local laptop I installed SQL server, right? See in the brackets how I can see MS SQL server. If you see MS SQL server in the brackets, that means that is a default instance. Only while connecting it will show you the computer name. You have to use the computer name. But all the services and all the folders, okay, all the services and folders, let me show you that as well. C drive, okay, and program files, Microsoft SQL server. This is in my local laptop. See here, MS SQL server. Okay, so I can see two MS SQL servers means two default instances or what? No, actually I installed 2017 and then I upgraded to 2019. That's why you can see two folders. Okay, so you can see If you install default instance, all the folders and all the services will be named as MS SQL Server. If you install named instances, all the services, you can see here name, instance name in the brackets instance name, and folder name also instance name. Okay, so will be created, guys. Clear? For default instance, generally it will use computer name to connect, but folders services will be created as MS SQL Server. So if you see MS SQL Server means that is a default instance. You can still change it, sir. Can I change the folder name? Yes, you can change it, but it's not a good practice. Why? Because generally we both are DBAs. I'll follow a standard procedure. You are following your own procedure. Next time while connected to the server, I might confuse. So it might delay the issues and all. It might delay fixing the issues and all. That's why generally we have to follow the same procedure. In case if any instances are already installed in this machine, you can see in this section installed instances. Currently this box is empty, means nothing installed in this. That's why you can see this is an empty box. If you install, next time if you're installing the default instance, you can see here instance name, instance ID, features, what features you installed, what edition you installed, what version it is, you can see in this box. I'll show you next time. Now I am installing default instance. Guys, it might overthrow. Why? Because lengthy topic, right? Nothing to worry. Watch this recording again. Okay, so don't worry at all. Just watch it again and again if you are having any doubts. Like if you have any doubts, just ask me now.
Any command to know whether it is instance, named instance or default?
Any command? No, by using this
Yes.
name only. MS SQL Server means default instance. Any other name other than MS SQL Server means named instance. Okay, just you can
If
check
it is
the
a backslash with name, that is the named instance.
named instance. See, in the services and all, you cannot see backslash name. You can see only instance name. But while connecting only, it will be backslash name. Computer name backslash instance name. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Service accounts, not challenging topic, but simple topic only. Try to understand, guys. Service account, the definition is service account is an account which helps you to run the service. Service account is an account which helps you to run the service. Okay, which helps you to run the service. As per the Windows architecture, the OS architecture, as per the Windows architecture, every software, knowingly or unknowingly, every software, when you are installing, after installation, every software will run on one service account, guys. You can see here last column, log on as, means this is a Windows architecture. This is how Windows will work. Every application will have whatever applications you are installing. You installed Zoom, right? For our classes, you installed Zoom. And after, once you bought the laptop, after like once you're having a laptop, you install lot of other softwares. You installed Microsoft Word, you install some separate specific softwares and all. Now you're installing SQL Server. Any software in the Windows will run based on one service account. What is this service account? How it will work? I'll give you one example. Imagine an antivirus software is there. You installed an Avesta antivirus software. Avesta antivirus software you installed. What this software will do, what this antivirus software will do, guys, generally, it will scan your computer. It will scan each and every file in all the folders and drives. It will contain its own database. Avesta software will contain its own database. In that database, it will maintain some suspicious files extensions. Okay, Avesta files, Avesta contains its own database. Imagine, okay, in the Avesta database, it is having some files extensions. Okay, imagine these are some virus files. Hackers created files with these extensions. What Avesta softwares will do, Avesta will have its own database with a Avesta will keep on updating, right? As it is exposed to the internet, will keep on updating, will add some extra extensions. If any new extensions, virus files are there, it will keep on adding. So what Avesta will do, Avesta will scan each and every folder. It will open one folder. Okay, let me open one folder. Let me open one folder, guys. Any folder. Just a minute, I'm opening. Right. So I just opened this folder. Okay, imagine Avesta is doing scanning in this folder. Batch 42 in this folder it is doing scanning. In this folder it is doing scanning. MS SQL and Binion. Imagine this folder it is doing scanning. Each file will have an extension, right? See here, if you see .dll, .dll, .exe, what Avesta will do, .mvf, you can see. It will take this file, it will compare the extension .dll with these files, .scf, .tr. Imagine, here we have .mvf. I'm giving an example. Avesta will take this file, this will check this extension whether .dll there in this list or not. If it is not there in this list, it will treat this as a safe file. Okay, it's not a virus file. .dll, okay, and then .dll and then .exe. Okay, .exe is there in this list or not? No. .dll, okay, .dll, .exe, .mvf, okay, it will check what is this .mvf file is there. Okay, matching. Here .mvf file is there. Where is that .mvf? Here .mvf file is there. Here .mvf file is there. Okay, matching means this is virus file. It will mark this as a virus file. Okay, first it will scan it, and then next it will mark it. Finally it will prepare a list. Hey, these are the virus files. Okay, please, can we delete these virus files or not? It will ask us finally. I don't know how many of you ran this Avesta or antivirus softwares manually. It will show you some virus affected files and all. It will ask us whether to delete or not. If we click on delete, it will read the existing virus files, guys. Here, if you observe it clearly, first it is scanning. Scanning means what? Reading the files. Then it will modifying the files. Then it is like it is going to delete, write operation. Delete means write operations. It is doing read operations, it is doing write operations. Who can do all these things? Listen carefully. If you want to go inside any folder, service on SQL Server cannot go directly, or Avesta service cannot go directly inside the folder. On behalf of Avesta software, one representative, one account will be there. That account only can log in into any folders or any drives. That account is called service account. How service account is useful for SQL Server? What SQL Server will do, guys? What is the basic definition of the SQL Server? What is the basic definition of SQL Server?
To process
For
data,
the data, process the data.
retrieve data.
Data, process data.
Read the data, write the
Read.
data,
No,
process the data, right? Store the data, process the data, and retrieve the data. Storing means what? How it can store? It has to write the data to the disk, right? Means write operation. Store the data, processing is also write operation. Retrieve means what? It's a read operation. It has to read the data, right? So on behalf of SQL Server, who will do all these things? Storing the data, processing the data, retrieving the data, writing data to the disk, reading data from the disk. Who will do all these things? Your service account will do all these things. Got the point, guys? Is it clear, everyone? What service account will do? Is it clear?
Which will help to run the SQL Server.
Any software in the Windows machine, any software will work in this mechanism only. The Windows architecture, any software will work in this mechanism only. So that's why every software will have their own service accounts. These are the service accounts, guys. If you see here, these are the service accounts. But you don't know, generally while installing local this one Avesta or any other applications, it won't ask you service account. You don't know the meaning, right? By default it will select some service accounts while installing. But SQL Server, we have a chance whether you want a default service account or you want a customized service account. Default service accounts means you will get by default with the Windows Server. You can choose default service accounts. I don't like default service account. I'll create my own service accounts. That is called customized service accounts. Generally, imagine you are staying in a room. You are the only one person. You are staying in a room. So for you, one maid is there. That maid is coming regularly. She is cleaning the room. She is washing the utensils. Whatever things are there, she is doing all these things and all, and she is going. Okay. Next time, two people came into the room. Your friend is also there. Next time, he just added in the room. So now two people are there. Earlier, she took only 30 minutes to complete your works, cleaning rooms, okay, that mopping and that cleaning utensils, washing clothes, okay, everything she used to take 30 minutes. Now second person is added. Now tell me how much time she will take. Just guess. More than 30 minutes, right? Imagine 45 minutes she took. Next third person is added. It will take 1 hour or 1.5 hours to complete all the things, right? Agreed, guys? So if people are adding, the time taken to process the things are taking more time. It is taking more time to complete the same work. So in the same way, I have a lot of softwares in the Windows machine. So all these softwares will work are using these three. There are 3 default service accounts in the Windows machine. 3 default service accounts in the Windows machine. These are default service accounts, guys. You will get it automatically with Windows machine. Okay, what is that? Local machine. Local machine. Local system. 1 minute, guys. Local system, local service, and network service. These are the 3 default service accounts. You can see here most of the softwares, either local system or network service, or you can see here local system, network service, local service also will be there. Local service, see here. So these are the default service accounts. These are already busy with other softwares, right? Why I will use these softwares? I am installing Windows Server for my SQL Server, but SQL Server is the primary goal. But these 3 maids are busy with other softwares. That's why I'll keep a separate maid for me. That separate maid will be there to wash my clothes, to clean the room, my specific area and all. To cook everything, she is going to take care of it. Separate specific personal assistant will be there. That is called customized service account. So earlier it took 1.5 hours to complete your work. Now you are having your own service account, your own maid. She will complete in 30 minutes all these things. Is it clear, guys? Service account importance, why we will use a custom service accounts in the organization. Is it clear, everyone? Main usage of the service account is an account which helps you to run the service. Without service account we cannot run it, any service. Okay, and service account will read the data from the disk, write the data to the disk. It can log into the folders and all. It can do all these things. Okay, service account, you can either choose default service accounts. Out of these 3 you can choose one service account, or no, if I choose these any of the service accounts, my process gets delayed. So for better performance, I'll create one more account which will act as a service account. I can go for custom service accounts. So that here in this screen you can see those things, guys. Where is my remote connection? This is the one. Yes. Okay, you can see here these are the virtual service accounts. By default you will get it. Now what I am going to do, I'll install the SQL Server with the default service accounts. Later you should know, guys, can I change the service account later? Now I am installing with the default accounts. Can I change it to custom service accounts later? Is it possible? Can I change my maid if I don't like? If she is not doing, if she is not coming regularly, can I change my maid?
Yes.
Yes, yes, I can change, right? So in the same way, later you can install service, you can install SQL Server with the default service accounts. If you don't want, later also you can change it. So you should know how to change it. That's why I'm installing now with the default accounts. Later I'll show you how to change it once installation is done. Okay, for agent one service account, for database engine this is main, one more service account, for full text service one more service account, for browser service one more service account will be there. Okay, and passwords no need to give as you are using default service accounts, and startup type should be automatic. Startup type should be automatic, guys. When the server is rebooted, these services also should start automatically. It's not like again you have to reboot manually. Once the server is restarted, if anyone restarted the server, all the services has to restart automatically. Not if you keep it manual, once the server is restarted, you have to start the service again manually, which is not good practice. Next is collation, guys. I'll give you a break in 5 minutes. Okay, what is the time now? 8:34, right?
What is the SQL Server browser?
Browser service is one service which will help you to find the servers in a remotely, guys. For example, imagine you're having 10 servers. Okay, imagine you're having 10 servers. So you will use only one management studio only, right, to connect to the 10 servers. While when you click on connect button, if you click here, I want to see all the servers available to connect, you will generally go with browse for more. If you click on this database engine, you can see the servers that are available in this laptop. If you click on database engine, you can see the servers that are available in this laptop, the instances that are available in this laptop. But in my organization, 10 servers are 10 Windows machines are there, or 100 Windows machines are there. I want to see the instance in another Windows machine. For that, what you have to do, you have to go to network servers. When you click on network servers, it will pull all the servers, okay, that are there in your network. But security wise will turn off this feature. Why? Because server names cannot be visible. Security wise will turn off the browser service. By default, if you see here, by default this service is disabled. Why this service is disabled? For the security purpose. No one outside people cannot see my instance names and all. Later you can turn it on, no issues, but during installation this service will be disabled. What is the use? This will help you to show the server name remotely. Okay, clear?
Full text demo.
We have already discussed it, sir. While doing installation, I told you SQL full text search. Remember?
Searching only.
That's the same feature. That is the same service on behalf of full text feature. That is the semantic search. This service will be installed. This is the service name, but the feature is full text semantic search. Okay, feature name is full text semantic search. On behalf of that feature, this service will be installed. Okay, fine. Go to collation settings. So collation means language settings, guys. Collation means language settings. What kind of data you are going to store in your databases? Okay, you can choose Chinese language, you can choose Arabic language, you can choose English language. What type of data your databases will accept? You can see some websites. Some websites are in Chinese language, some websites are in Arabic language. Their own local languages will be there, right? So what kind of data it has to accept, what language it has to accept? Generally it has to accept English language. Okay, we are going to store the data like English language, right? So this is Latin, we have to choose Latin. By default it will be there, SQL Latin 1 General, CP1 CIAS. This means English language, it is an English language. CP1 means code page 1, which is language code page. CI means case insensitive, means even though you enter data in the uppercase or lowercase, it will accept. AS means accent sensitive. Okay, so accent sensitive and all. So this is the default collation setting. No, I want to change my language. Then click on customize. Then you can see go to this Windows collation and you can see different languages here: Chinese, Czech, French language, Greek language, okay, Japanese language, Korean language, Polish language, Serbian language, Slovak language, Thai language. Unfortunately we don't have Hindi here or any of Indian languages, okay, so that's okay. So if you want to use English language, generally we'll use English only, okay. So that means SQL Latin 1, General, CP1, CI, AS will be selected by default. 90% will use this collation settings only. Can I change the collation settings later? Can I change the language settings later after installation? Try guys, yes or no, just try it. Is it possible to change the collation settings?
No.
No.
Just try. Why can't we change? We can change our language settings in our mobile phone, right? So why can't we change the language settings in the SQL server? Just try, yes or no. Guys, you should be interactive. You should be interactive. It's not like simply listening the classes. Try, yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Done. Okay, so the thing is, you cannot do directly, but there is a way, but it's not a recommended method. You can change the collation settings, but it's not recommended. So generally if you give the wrong collation settings, customer is asking, this collation settings also will be documented in the build sheet, guys. You can change some binaries, you can change the binaries and you can change the collation settings, but your instance won't work properly after changing this collation settings. So indirectly we cannot change it, but yes, there is a way, but that is not at all recommended to change the collation settings. So if you want a separate collation settings, what you have to do, you have to again install SQL Server with a specific collation settings, second instance with specific collation settings. You have to take the backup of this existing instance, you have to restore it into the newly created instance, guys. Okay, so there is like it's not recommended to change the collation settings after installation. Instead of that, if customer is no, I want at any cost I want this collation settings, means again install a separate new instance with the respective collation settings, take the backup of the data from the old server, restore it into the new server. That is the uh, like professional way, or what we can say, that's how recommended way, that's the recommended way generally to change the collation settings, guys. That's it. Let me go to next. And yes, now what we can do, guys, take the break. Now 8:40, right? So you can take the break for 15 minutes. 8:40, 15 minutes means 8:55. Come back at 8:55, guys. Okay, we'll discuss not more. This screen is there, this screen is pending, guys. Once the screen is like we discussed, we can proceed for the installation. So what do you say? Can I proceed? We have only this screen which will take 10 to 15 minutes to explain. Then you can take the break, or you will take the break now and again we'll come back. Tell me, guys. You want me to continue, or you will take the break and you will come back after 15 minutes?
We'll continue, right?
Continue.
Sir, continue, sir.
Continue, sir.
Everyone, okay, done. Very good. Okay, so let's continue. After this, we can install the SQL. It will take time, 10 to 15 minutes. In that time you can go for break. Okay, right. Here you can see 4 tabs: server configuration, data directories, tempdb, file stream. Server configuration. Okay, you can see there are authentication modes: Windows authentication, mixed mode authentication. As of now, I'll just give you a brief, very brief about this authentication. We have a separate topic called security. In the security concept, I'll explain with the diagrams how Windows authentication will work, how mixed authentication will work, mixed mode authentication. Simple words in one word means Windows authentication. See here, this is my local instance. While connecting, I can see 2 authentication types. Forget about these 3. This is for different Azure and all. You can see 2, Windows and SQL Server. Okay, these are main authentication modes. If you choose Windows authentication, It is not asking username and password. If you choose SQL authentication, it is asking a username and password, login name and password it is asking. Then if it is not asking the username, that is a security breach, right? Everyone can log into the SQL server, right? Agreed, guys? Here it is not asking any username. If I click connect, I am able to connect. It is not at all asking any username. Means where is the security here? So if you choose Windows authentication, don't think that it will accept all the accounts. No, if you see here, one account is disabled. Actually, my computer name is Hemant, guys. Okay, my machine name is Hemant. You can see here, my machine name is Hemant. The user, I used Hemant account to log into this laptop. So that's why when I choose Windows authentication, it will take the account that you have already logged in this laptop, in this machine. That's why you can see this is the computer name / account name Hemant. If you see here, security, logins, Hemant name is already created as a login in the SQL server. That's why he is able to connect. Means even though you are not giving Hemant name here, still it is using Hemant. Why? It is pulling from the Windows machine. Okay. As you logged into the Hemant account and then you opened SSMS, that's why you can see Hemant here. And for this Hemant, there is already an account created in the SQL server. That's why it is allowing us to connect. If you choose SQL Server authentication, you have to give a separate name. Imagine we have Naveen in the class. I am giving Naveen and I am just giving one default password. If I click connect, I'll get login failed for user Naveen. Why? Naveen is not part of any of this list, guys. This is called logins list. Naveen not allowed to log into the server. Why? Naveen is not part of this list. Only those who are part of this logins list, they only can connect to the SQL server. That's how the security is maintained. Now you are not part of this list, right? So that's why if you see here, Karthik is there. Karthik is there. Let me give Karthik name here. Karthik. I am not sure the password. I thought it is a 123 password. Let me check. Yes. See, I am able to connect as a Karthik. You can see here Karthik connection. This is. So that's how the security is there. I'll explain clearly in the security concept. Windows authentication means it will use the computer username and password. That's why it is not asking any password here. SQL authentication means you have to give a specific username and password. And again, either Windows or SQL, the login names that they are using to connect to the SQL server should be part of the security logins list. Only these people can connect. Windows authentication means it will use computer username and password. SQL authentication means you have to SQL or mixed mode authentication, both are same. You have to give specific username and password. So in this screen, I have to give some accounts. Okay. Why? Because if I don't give any accounts, if I click next, it won't allow you to go to next first of all without giving any account. At least you have to add one account here. So now generally in the organization, what we will do is we'll add DBA team, guys. We'll click on add button. We'll add the whole DBA team. There is a concept called group login. Generally, we don't add individual persons in the organization. So we'll add the group login here, means all the DBAs will be grouped together and it will create one account, a common account. So if I click on add button, I have to give the SQL DBA's group name and I have to click on check names. I'll get some name and I have to click add on this. Now there is no such group, that's why you are getting error, but in the future I'll show you how to do that. Okay. At this moment, what I'm going to do, I'll click on add current user, means the one who is installing the SQL server, who is installing, right? Administrator is installing. So if you click on add current user, one account will be created in the SQL server for administrator. So he can log into the SQL server, guys. If you want to add other people, other team members, click on add. You have to give the whole team here. So not only you, it's not for you guys. It's for the whole team, right? Whole team has to connect. So you have to give your team name here and you have to click on check names here, and you can click OK. So we'll create a group login, so not only you, your colleagues also can connect to the newly installed SQL Server, guys. Only one thing I want to say is, whoever you will add in this section, they can connect to the SQL Server. If you don't add anyone, no one can connect to the SQL Server. If you add at least one person, now I can log into the SQL Server. After installation, I can log into the SQL Server, right? Then I can create a logins for other people, right? If you have one, actually, for example, imagine now there is a house, okay, which was locked. Only one person is having lock, okay. So what he has to do, he has to open the lock, he has to open the doors, then he can welcome other people, other family members and all. Okay, in the same way, at least one person is able to connect to the SQL Server. He can give access to other people, he can create logins to other people, and he can give access to other people. So at least one account you have to add here. Generally, the organization will add a whole DBA team. As of now, there is no DBA team, we haven't created, right? So in the future, I'll create the DBA team. I'll show you how to add it. So as of now, you have to add one account to connect to the SQL Server. This account, by using this account only, will connect to the SQL Server, guys. Clear? I'm sorry. Right? This is called authentication and accounts. Data directories. So we will have separate folders. When you install the SQL Server, generally we'll create the databases. After installation, we'll create the databases in the SQL Server. Databases means it's a collection of data files and log files. So separate files will be created. In the organization, will add separate drives for separate files. All the data files will be stored in one drive. All the log files will be stored in another drive. All the backup files will be stored in another drive. All the binaries supported files will be stored in another drive. Like that will segregate the data in the organization. But in our case, we have only one drive, which is C drive. We cannot store in the D drive. This is not a fixed drive. Okay, this is a mount point drive. So I'm going to store everything in the C drive. If you want to store in a separate drives, you have to simply change the drive letter to E. You have to simply change the drive letter to L. In case if you have drives, I don't have E drive, L drive and all. In this case, if you change it to E, L and all, it will be failed. So that's why I'm keeping it as it is, like C drive only. Okay, these are the files will be created in the specific drives in the specific folders. Once the installation is done, I will show you these folders again, and while creating the database, I will show you what kind of files will be created, where they are going to store. TempDB is a separate database, guys. It's a system database. TempDB is a system database. TempDB, what are the uses of TempDB? I'll explain it later. We have a separate session on system databases, master model, MSDB, TempDB. During that session, I'll explain about the TempDB. So earlier, before 2017, like 2012 or 2008, 2005 installations, this configuration is not there. But from 2016 onwards, you can configure TempDB during installation itself. Later also you can configure, but they give extra provision that you can set up the TempDB during installation itself. Okay, so generally TempDB will have multiple data files. Here, based on the number of CPU cores and all, I have one CPU core is there, so that's why I can see only one. If you want to add extra files, you can give 2-3 files and all. So where they are going to create, in this location they are going to create. If you want to change this location to some other location, you can remove this location, you can add it. Okay, this is generally how the TempDB is configured. We are not creating it, we are configuring where TempDB data files has to store, where TempDB log files has to store. What is these values you will came to know while discussing database features. While creating database, I'll explain initial size, auto growth, number of files, everything I'll explain. As of now, keep it as it is. Next also, after installation also, we can configure the TempDB. So nothing to worry, no need to change here. In case if you want to change the path, only path. No need to change these values. It will be pulled automatically, guys. Nothing to worry. File stream is a feature which will help you to store the video content data like Netflix, Amazon Prime, AHA, like these are YouTube video based apps, right? So to store video content data, generally we'll use file stream feature. We are not storing any video content or large objects like photos and all. We are storing text type of data, so no need to enable this file stream feature. Okay, you can keep it you can skip this one. So that's it.
Yeah, here I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
We have selected Windows server configuration.
Okay.
We have selected Windows authentication mode. In here, hard current user. In here, Windows iPhone something QR. That is a system name, machine name. iPhone administrator is a username.
Yes, correct.
This and named instance, default instance. That user and that name and this is the name and
See,
same.
that is instance name. This is account name. You cannot compare both. That is instance
Okay.
name. That also like a kind of like this server name backslash instance name. This is server name backslash account name. That name is different. This name is different. That is
While connecting the SSMS, we want to use this name only.
You have to use both. Okay, while connecting to the server, you have to give instance name, right? Right?
Yes.
You have to choose, in case if you choose SQL Server authentication, you have to give account name also, right? So account name, this is
Yes.
with which account you are connecting, what account you are using to connect. Server name is to which server you are connecting. Got the point? Server name is to which instance you are connecting. Account name is what login you are using to connect to the server. So might be here both looks like same. Why? Because they will use the computer name. This is the computer name, actually computer name backslash account name. That is computer name backslash instance name. So don't confuse between account name and instance name.
Okay. While connecting using the
While connecting,
we are using instance name only.
instance name and account you have to give, right? Which account you will
Okay.
connect, which account you will use to connect to the server. So both you have to give. There are different sections. Account name, in the account name section you will give login name. In the server name section you will give server name. Nothing is there to confuse. Okay, server name section, server name you will give. Account name section, account name you will give. That's it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Fine, guys. Okay, so that's it. Next.
Sir?
Yes, please.
If we choose the Windows authentication mode, the server authentication will be disabled, right?
Not actually, yes. I'll show you later. You have to, if you choose Windows authentication, mixed mode will be disabled. After installation, I have to enable that mixed mode authentication. And guys, I installed a SQL Server with Windows authentication initially. Later, can I change it to mixed mode? Is it possible later after installation?
Can we select now itself?
Now also we can select, but you should know, right, how to change the authentication mode from Windows to mixed mode later.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why wanted I'm using Windows authentication. Even though you install SQL Server with Windows authentication, later you can change it to mixed mode. Okay, if you select mixed mode, it will ask you a default account username and password. SA is the username, and you have to give strong password. Confirm password you have to give. Okay, so initially I am installing with Windows authentication. Once installation is done, I will show you how to change it to mixed mode authentication. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, please? Okay, fine. Let me go to next, guys. That's it. This is the final screen, and now you can see here whatever options we have selected till now in this installation center. This is installation center, right? Whatever options we have selected till now, you can see here all the options we have selected. These features: database engine, replication, full text, client tools, backward compatibility, client tools, SDK, SQL client with SDK, instance name, and we have selected the folders, and we have selected the shared features, and we have selected the shared folders, and we have selected the instance configuration. We have selected the service accounts, startup type, whatever we selected, like tempdb configurations and all, data directories, log file directories, sorry, accounts added. Okay, administrator accounts added, you can see here. Actually, this Windows machine don't know this setup, guys. This setup, whatever options we have selected, this is only for our understanding purpose. Actually, Windows machine or your laptop, I told you right earlier, it can't understand GUI, graphical user interface, but we don't know what is the command to install SQL Server. This setup will prepare a command, guys. This setup, whatever features we have selected, this setup file will prepare a command with all the features that we have selected. That command will be there in this configuration file.ini. When you click on install button, this file will be called, whatever features are selected will be documented in this file, configuration file.ini. When I click on install button, Windows machine will call this file. It will take the inputs from this file, parameters and all from this file, and then it will run that query to install, guys. So we can install SQL Server using GUI like this. We can install SQL Server using command. There is a separate command. Generally we don't discuss. If you want, you can go to my channel, lot of videos uploaded. You can use command way also to install the SQL Server. Generally in the organization, people don't use command and all, they will use GUI only. You can install SQL Server using ini file. Just now we have checked, right, configuration file.ini. ini based installation will be there. If we install this SQL Server, you can install SQL Server in slipstream method, sysprep method, like that 4-5 methods are there to install. Okay, so generally we don't follow other methods, and the organization 100% will use GUI method only. GUI is easy. Okay, command method you have to remember command, but I want to see, sir, go to my channel. Okay, there are lot of installation methods. How to install SQL Server using command, how to install installation SQL Server using ini file, how to install SQL Server in the slipstream method, sysprep method. Okay, you can use PowerShell also, that I haven't covered in my channel, but you can use PowerShell method of command also to install the SQL Server, guys. So this is how we'll install the SQL Server. It will take, generally based on the server size, like RAM and all, RAM speed and all, generally it will take 10 to 15 minutes for the first time installation. Next time it will be completed in 5 minutes. Why? Because first time it will install specific features and shared features, right? Extra components it is going to install for the first time. Second time when you are installing, it has to install only specific features. Shared features are already there. So second time it will take less time. For the first time, generally it will take 15 minutes to install the SQL Server, guys. Clear? Any questions? If you have any questions, what you can do, you can come back at 9:15. We'll connect for 15 more minutes and then we'll disconnect, guys, for now. Okay, and as discussed yesterday, I just pinged you, right? So evening times are a little bit changed. It will be 6 p.m. okay, 6 p.m. to 8:30 IST. So based on your time zones, you can calculate. So evening times, morning 7 to 9:30 it's fixed IST. Evening 6 to 30 AM IST. Evening 6 to 8:30 PM IST, guys. Okay, so in case if anyone is going to disconnect now, we'll connect in the evening at 6 p.m. But we have 15 more minutes session is there. Okay, come back at what you can do, take the 10 minutes break, guys. Come back at 9:12, 9:13 like that, and we'll discuss other things as well. Okay, right, I'll be back after 9:12, guys. Okay. right? So any questions, guys? Server is still installing. Any questions you have, guys?
Sir,
Yes, please.
yeah, I'm having this Windows 10 home. So for the .NET installation also we can do directly, or is it necessary to upgrade to Pro?
See, .NET installation and all, you can follow the same procedure. Okay, the
But in that you are
Hmm.
installing that server, but you connected and then installing. Can I do
No,
it
you can do
directly?
it directly. See, remote is only one way of connecting to the server. Like
Yeah.
that, direct also you can connect. Direct will have more permissions when compared to the remote.
So
Okay,
it's not mandatory now
it's not.
to
See,
upgrade
that's
this
what I
one.
said. During the classes itself, during the initial classes itself, this is only one way to connect to the server. Whatever that I'm doing remotely, that you can do directly. Everything, including SQL Server installation also.
Okay.
Only thing is you have to attach the softwares, right? The procedure
Yeah.
is same as it is. The thing is for the remote you can see full screen. Okay, for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
direct connection you cannot see full screen. Okay, you can see a small means like this kind of limited window you can see.
Yeah.
Second thing, remote connection you can copy. If anything you want to copy from local to server, you can right click copy, right click paste. If you are connected through remote, if you connected
Okay.
through direct, you cannot copy paste from the local. That's it.
So how to install the SQL Server?
How to install? Did I copied anything from local machine? Did I
Yeah.
copied the SQL Server from local
Yeah.
laptop?
I copied now.
I didn't. I just attached the
Okay.
software like a Windows OS.
Okay.
Once you attach the software like a Windows OS, in the C
Yeah.
drive you
Yeah.
can
I
see, right, in
remember.
the setup file, right click, you will open the same procedure.
Okay.
Everything is same. There is no difference at all. Only thing is small window you can see. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Thank you.
if RDP is not working means that doesn't mean you can stop the practice and all. You can still practice whatever I am doing. You can do it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? See, now the SQL Server installation has been completed and it is saying one or more affected files have operations pending. You must restart your computer after setup process is completed. It is saying before and after installation, you have to install the Windows machine. Okay, it's the safest method. So not only before installation, after installation also you have to restart the Windows server for the smooth and clean installation. And you can see the status here, installation successful, install successful. Okay, and you have also cross verify whether all the components are successfully installed or not. All the green checks you have to cross verify. Sometimes if any component is failed, you can see a red check here. If any components are failed to install, you can see a red check here. So make sure all the checks are green, guys. Okay, in case if you faced any issues during the installation, here you can see one file called summary.txt file, summary server name .txt. This is date and time, guys, when you install the SQL Server 2022 10th month 8th October 8th, and at 7:38 you started this setup file. Morning 7:38 you opened this setup file, 7:38:03 seconds. So you have to open this summary.txt when if you face any issues, any errors during the installation. If you see here, final result passed but reboot required. If you have any issues, any errors, if your installation is failed due to any other reasons, you can check in this setup summary.txt file, guys. You can check the errors in the summary.txt file. This is the use of the summary.txt file. They will ask you during the interview if any installation errors are there, where you will check it. The first source is summary.txt file. Where it will be? It will be in the setup bootstrap folder. Setup bootstrap folder in the binaries section. I'll show you the physical location of this file, guys. Nothing to worry. But the basic, the primary source is your summary.txt file that will be there in the setup bootstrap folder. So there you can check the errors in case if the installation is failed. Okay, let me close this window. Now the installation is completed, right? So in this way we can install the SQL Server. Next, now I just installed the server, guys. Again, every software will have client server architecture. Client server architecture. Every server will have client server architecture. So now I just installed server, SQL Server I installed. I have to install one client. Client will help you to connect to the server, guys. Client is a tool which will help you to connect to the server. Okay, I just installed only server. Now I have to install client, then only I can connect to the server. Server will be up and running. You can see server is there. Where I can see server is installed or not. In two ways you can cross verify. One is open C drive. Okay, open the C drive. Of course we have already cross verified using that summary.txt file. In the C drive you can see a folder will be created under program files. A folder will be created with software name Microsoft SQL Server, and you can see some binaries and instance root directories will be installed. This is instance root directory. Go into this folder MSSQL. There you can see all the files, okay, data files, everything you can see. You want to see the setup bootstrap folder, right? Go to this 140 folder. Go to setup bootstrap. There you can see log folder. There you can see summary.txt file. The one which I just shown you after installation. This is the file. Okay. So if you don't find any errors in the summary.txt file, you can go to date and timestamp folders. Here you can see again one more summary.txt file. If you don't find any errors in the summary.txt file, there is one more file called detailed file. If you open this detailed file, lot of information will be there. Don't know, sir, where to search the error and all. A very big file. Okay, what is the size? 3 MB, na? Almost 3 MB file is there. Okay, here how to search the error? Control F. Use error. Search with error. Okay, this is error reporting. Error reporting is one feature. This is not an actual error, guys. Okay, so like this you have to search for any errors are there during the installation. So like this you can see, guys. Don't think errors means all the errors. This is an information. Okay, so like this you can see, guys. This is one way. First method is you have to search in the summary.txt file. This one, if you don't find proper information, go to the date and timestamp folders. There you can see detailed file, and then you can see, you can open the detailed file. You can search with error, you can search with a message, you can search with what is that, failed kind of keywords you can use, so that instead of reading the whole document, you can directly search with failed, error. So if you search like this, in case if anything is there, you can directly go to that. You can check what is the error, why it was failed and all. Based on that you can troubleshoot, guys. Okay, so now what we can do is, and one more way is, like once you install the SQL Server in the services.msc, open services.msc to see all the services. Whenever you install any software, it will create one service based on the software, guys. As we installed SQL Server, it will create a service for SQL Server, guys. Okay, click on this name. So the services will be in order, alphabetical order. Select any service, just hit S, SQL Server services, right? You can see all the services with S, starts with S. You can see here SQL Server is installed. You can see which is a default instance. In the brackets I can say MS SQL Server. When you install SQL Server, actually 6 services will be installed, guys. See here, this is one service, MS SQL Server. This is another service which is main service, guys. If you see SQL Server, only SQL Server in the brackets instance name, that is main database engine service. I told you, right, database engine will be installed. The database engine will run as a SQL Server service. This is the main service. For others, see, you can see SQL full text, SQL Server agent, SQL Server browser, SQL Server CEIP, SQL Server VSS writer. Others names are different, but if you see here only SQL Server in the brackets instance name, this is the main service. If your SQL Server is not running, or if you are unable to connect to the SQL Server, make sure this service is running, guys. If the service is stopped, then you cannot connect to the SQL Server. Okay, you can see the services. So when you install SQL Server, 6 services will be installed, I'll explain it in the next class what will happen when you install the SQL Server. Now I have to install a client. What is that client, guys? Management Studio. Management Studio is the client. Management Studio is the client in SQL Server. So by using this Management Studio, we have to connect to the newly installed instance. Earlier means before 2016, before SQL Server 2016 up to SQL Server 2014, SSMS is inbuilt with the SQL Server installation. Means if you install SQL Server with that installation, SSMS also will be installed automatically. From 2016 onwards, SSMS is separated. SSMS means SQL Server Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, which is SSMS, which is a tool or what is that? Client to connect to the server, to connect to the SQL Server. Okay, fine. So now what we have to do, guys, we have to install SSMS separately. Once SQL Server installation is done, from 2016 onwards, once SQL Server installation is done, you have to install SSMS separately. Very easy, guys. SSMS installation is only one click. Just install button will be there. But I'm sorry, you have to take that file, right? So if your remote connections are not working, okay, let me close this. Go to Oracle VirtualBox. What I am going to do is I am going to copy the SSMS file directly from my local laptop as I connected remotely. For some people, remote connections are not working, right? I gave you another software, SSMS ISO image in your softwares list, software links file. There is a separate file called SSMS ISO file. Download it and attach it like this, like you know, right? Right click settings. If it is an ISO file, you can go to storage. You can replace with SSMS ISO image, like SSMS ISO image will be there. Okay, fine. This is how generally we can do that. For the people, those who connected using remotely, they can download it from the Google SSMS. If you want a fresh, what we can say, if you want a fresh SSMS also having a versions, guys. SSMS is also having the versions. Okay, so if you want a fresh SSMS, what you can do, Google download SQL Server Management Studio. See here, it is reading our minds also. Okay, you can go to Microsoft website and then you can download it from the Google, I mean like Microsoft website. Even I also gave the link for downloading the SSMS. You can follow those links or you can download it from the Google for the latest version of Management Studio, guys. Okay, for the latest version of Management Studio. I have already with me, SSMS is already downloaded. Let me check in the downloads, it will be there. Downloads. 1 minute, guys, I'm checking. Seems the SSMS is deleted. Okay, I'll download this file. Okay, just click on this. You will get a download option. Okay, it will start downloading the file and all. Once it is downloaded, you can copy the file from your local machine to your server directly, and you can start installing SSMS. It's there is nothing, no options and all will be there to install SSMS. Only one option called install button. Okay, just click on install button. You don't get any extra options. Just click install button. I'll show you guys. Okay, once this is done, I'll show you. Mine is 100 Mbps plan. See how much I am getting, 18 Mbps. So almost downloaded. Right, so what we can do, let's copy this file. 1 minute. Just right click copy, guys. Once the download is completed, then go to the server. You can paste it on the desktop. Okay, once this is copied completely, then you can start installing those. Like I just now we discussed, right? In case if your remote connections are not working, remote desktop is not working, what you have to do, you have to use download SSMS ISO image link that I have shared in my softwares list. Okay, in the Google you don't get SSMS ISO image, guys. In the Google you will get direct file only. Again, you cannot copy paste. Okay, what you can do, use my links. There you can see SSMS ISO link, download it, and then attach the software from the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. If you are facing any issues, you can just send a screenshot to me. I'll help you out, guys. Just for we'll wait for like the class will be there for 10 more minutes. Class will be there for 10 more minutes. Once this is done, we'll connect in the evening. Lakshmi Dikshita Kaplavai.
హలో సార్ నేను దుర్గాని అది
Oh,
మార్చలేదు
okay, okay, fine, no problem.
సార్ ఎక్స్క్యూజ్ మీ
Please.
నేను ఎస్టర్డే గెస్ట్ ఎడిషన్ కూడా డౌన్లోడ్ చేశాను కదా సార్ అది అర్థం అవ్వలేదు అది ఎందుకు డౌన్లోడ్ చేయమన్నారు అనేది కొంచెం
Which one?
గెస్ట్ ఎడిషన్స్
Guest editions. You said yours is having a Windows 11 home.
yes sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
for your laptop, RDP won't support. Okay, if you want full screen setup, that's why I asked you to download a guest
But
edition.
after that I download also same screen small screen only is
So
coming, right?
you only kept right the screenshot, not small screen. That's a big screen only. Small screen means you can see like this window. This is a small, this much kind of window only you can see. Okay, this one. But yours is a big screen. When you shared your picture, let me open that Durga, right?
Yes.
Durga.
Yes.
This is how you will get once you connected. Don't you see any difference between this window and the one which you shared with me? Can you open the image? Open your chart and just check. You can see a full screen, right? How come it's a some small screen?
Yeah, this one only, previous also same screen came.
Previous means same screen? I don't think so. Previous you can see this much screen only. Okay, if
Oh,
you don't install guest editions, you can see even though you maximize, it will be limited like this. Okay, you can see like this mostly. But now I
okay.
can see on the whole screen I can see like the server, the complete server I can see. Okay, so
Okay.
you can see the difference. Only for the full screen I asked you to install guest editions. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So after that, I need to continue the .NET
Yes, yes.
installation.
Remaining everything is same as it is. Just simply follow the videos. Remaining
Okay.
and everything is same.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, the file is copied, guys. SSMS setup file is copied. So how to install? Right click again, open the setup file with run as admin mode. Now what you can see is you can see the restart button. Why? Because last time when the SQL Server installation is done, we haven't restarted the Windows machine. So you can see the restart button. Sometimes you people can see like this, sir. I cannot see install button, sir. Like that immediately they will ping me. That's why wantedly I haven't restarted. So now you can see a restart button instead of install button. Okay, so like this. Generally if you restarted the machine, you can see install button here, but you can see restart button here. Means last time when I installed SQL Server, I haven't restarted. So close this, restart the Windows machine like this. Windows power button, restart, select any planned options, plan, other planned, continue. So it will restart. Okay, once this is up, we'll connect again and we'll install the management studio. This machine will be down and again it will be restarted. You can see on the screen, right? This one. Just wait for a minute. Let me close this SSMS. Srikanth, is it fixed? Your issue is fixed, Srikanth?
No, sir, I'm doing today, sir. I'll check it once again today and I'll do, sir.
Sir, please share your screen share once. So are you connected from laptop or mobile phone?
I'm connected from mobile, sir, now.
Okay, nothing. Okay, you can see a plus symbol. Click on that plus symbol. You can see add button. Click on that add button. You have downloaded all the softwares, right, including Windows Server.
Yes, sir. Like you have sent, no, sir. From that I have downloaded, sir.
Go to that folder. Once you click on that add button, a folder will open. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Go to
Yes,
the
sir.
downloads in which location you downloaded the softwares. Go to that location. You can see Windows
sir.
files, the one which you have downloaded. Double click on the file so that it will be attached. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Once it is done, I'll put a message, sir. If it's
Sure,
not done,
sure.
so I'll put a message, sir.
Definitely. Okay. But do some homework. Okay. It's not a big thing, very small thing. Just browsing
sir.
the files. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. The machine is restarted, guys. Let me connect to this machine again remotely. Okay, set a file, run as administrator. I'll just show you how to install SSMS. Okay, that's the only method we'll install SSMS generally. So you have to click on install button. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. So I'll disconnect the class now. In the evening, once the installation is completed, in the evening we'll see how to use SSMS and all. Okay, forget about the server manager. It will come automatically. Let it open. I'll minimize that server manager. I'll show you that SSMS and then we'll start installing the SSMS. Right, let me minimize this. So you can see once you open the SSMS setup file, you can see like this. Click on install. Earlier you can see restart button, right? Once you restarted the Windows machine, you can see install button. That's it, guys. It won't ask any other settings or options to select. This is how we have to install SSMS. Very easy to install. SSMS is very easy to install. So installation will be completed in 10 to 15 minutes. So no need to wait till the installation is done. In the evening, we will connect at 6 p.m. IST, guys. Okay, we'll connect at the 6 p.m. Generally evening classes will be preponed to 1 hour before, 1 hour early. So 6 p.m. to 8:30. Not today. Regularly we'll connect 6 to 8:30 in the evening. Morning same timing, 7 to 9:30. Okay. So in the evening at 6 p.m. we'll connect and then I'll open SSMS. I'll show you how to use SSMS and all. So the things will be followed, guys. Any questions you can ask me. If you are good, then we are good to close the session for now. No questions?
I'm unable to install a SQL Server 2012 because
12.
12, yeah.
Why you are installing
In
12?
MP, the option is disabled.
No. First of all, why you are installing SQL Server 2012? You are saying SQL Server
Oh,
or
sorry.
Windows Server?
17, sorry, 2017.
Okay, SQL Server 2017. What option it is showing?
In settings and in storage, there is no option. It is in disabled. It's not coming like this kind of blue color.
Okay, do one thing. Okay, let me stop my sharing. Okay, you can share your screen. Okay, let me give you permissions. Yes, you can share your screen. So you are attending from the same laptop, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you can share the screen. Click on the share button. You can see screen option. Select the screen and you can share the screen. Okay, done. Now tell me. Okay,
Here
so
is
it
no
is
option.
grayed out. Why like that? What is the system? What is the server state? I told you. Okay, so the machine should be turned on. The machine is in saved state. The machine is not running. You can see the state, right? Saved 2012. You can see 64-bit 2012 icon. Cancel this. Cancel
There
this window. Cancel this window. The one which you can see. Cancel it now.
this one.
Cancel it. There you can see what is the state of the machine. Left side SQL DBA 1. What is the state?
Save.
Saved means what? Saved means it's paused. Okay, the machine is not running. Double click on it, it will start. It's starting now. Once the machine is started, then you can attach the storage. If the machine is stopped state or saved state, then you cannot do that. Okay, now you can go to settings. Storage. Select empty CD. Now you can see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right, fine. Any other questions, any doubts, guys? No? Okay, we'll connect in the evening at 6 p.m. Okay, use the same link, guys, to join. So that's it from my side. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.